Hello and welcome to another episode of the Thoughtfully Made Fiber Vlogcast. For 2 years now, ever since I moved into this house, I told myself that I would have no more yarn than fits into this yarn cabinet over here. But the reality is, with the size of my designing business and the number of projects I have going on, my designing life has outgrown this yarn cabinet. Additionally, I have a lot of sweater samples that I've designed, which are just laying around. Like there's a cabinet in the living room for them, but they don't really fit. It's not a cabinet meant for clothing, and it's just generally a pain in the butt to haul it upstairs, downstairs, etc. to make all of my content and videos down here. So today, I have purchased a new Ikea Kallax unit, this cute unit over here, and we will be reorganizing all of my yarn into this little unit and then getting my samples into this more protected glass cabinet. If you'd like to see how I organize my yarn, keep watching. So first I had to get some of this new Durham Tura into the Kallax unit, and this is actually in a cardboard box that's just like lived in my office for a while because I didn't have anywhere to put it. This is for an upcoming design and it's a DK weight yarn called Penelope. And then we have to find some space for all my other Durham Tura. I have quite a bit of Sereno left over from the Matthew pullover and a little bit of Gilead left over from the building blocks Cardi. I tend to way over order because I hate playing with yarn chicken. I lost yarn chicken once while doing a design and it was horrible, so the result is I often have lots of leftovers like this that I then need to figure out what to do with. So luckily, just about all my Durham fits into that one cubby, and I started getting on with my fibers cubby with all my spinning fibers. I have a new spinning wheel coming up, coming in the mail, and I've been wanting it for a long time for chronic pain days when I cannot spin with my feet. So that's exciting. Here we have all of my hand-dyed sock yarns in one cubby, and I had all the DK weight in another cubby, but pretty quickly I figure out here that I actually don't have enough hand-dyed yarn to justify using 2 cubbies for them, so I end up moving them all into one. I primarily buy from Lovey & Amy, Woolberry, Fiber Co, and Coast to Coast Yarn Co, and I've also got some odds and ends left over from some of the favorite designs here. And here we have some new yarn that's coming for a new design by The Wandering Flock. I'm making a child version of the effervescent pullover. And here we have another sample, a new sample that just came in the mail from my sample knitter that will be coming very soon. So excited to share this with you. These are absolutely not hand-dyed. These Garth Noir sock yarn, but I'm going to treat them like they're hand-dyed and stick them in the same pile as all my other sock yarn because I have space and why not? Oh, the cutest little bouquet of sock yarn. Minis from Geraldine at The Wandering Flock. Thank you, Geraldine. Alright, so now we get to the hard part where there's like odds and ends, lots of like half-used balls of yarn and old yarn that I purchased and swatched and then now reused. I have quite a few abandoned whips and abandoned plant projects, so all of those ended up in this little cubby here with the new Pearl Soho yarn to the left there. Some knitting for Olive Pure Silk, which I think I have plans for, but I can't share those plans yet. I think I have an idea for though. Quite excited about that. I've got these cedar boxes that I purchased from Knit Picks that I usually use to store more sensitive yarns, usually non-superwash wool that has no plastic content, no nylon, nothing like that. Those types of yarns I consider to be a little more vulnerable to bug damage. Oh, here's the point where I realized my nest fiber needs to have their very own cabinet. If you've not watched it already, I have a whole video about the fiber brands that I buy the most, and I'll link that in a little corner here so that you can see all my different favorite fiber brands. But they did end up, all the hand-dyed fiber brands did end up taking 2 cubbies. I thought I had a lot of hand spun yarn, but I actually only have like half a cubby worth. They really do compress down once you spin them. I've got a new spinning wheel coming, and I'm just super freaking excited to dig into these. I think that's going to be really, really fun to pick out one of these fibers and get going on them. I've got some bumps of single breed wools that I'm excited to try. All of those are going into one cabinet as well. I've been experiencing some pretty bad chronic pain flare-ups. That means that I'm not always able to work on my Kromsky Symphony, and oftentimes I'm too tired for like the counting and doing increases and decreases and stuff on knitting. So definitely I think a new electric spinning wheel is just what my brain needs. Now we're getting into the unspun yarn of it all. I also have a lot of odds ends and things of unspun yarns. Some from Woolen Twine, some from Wool Dreamers, and some from Onerker Uten. So one of the reasons why I chose the Ikea Kallax for the storage unit is because with a wider cabinet, all my yarns were kind of tumbling in on each other all the time. If I remove one hank or ball or whatever, the whole thing collapses, and it was super annoying. So I wanted to keep that more limited this time and try to get what I can into each unit and not disturb the other units, with each unit being smaller than the overall cabinet size I had before. I think this will be a more ideal storage solution. What do you think? I'm definitely not fully decided on how I like it. At the time of me recording this voiceover track, it's been about a week and a half. I don't go to my cabinet that often because I'm very slow as a knitter, so every couple weeks I come and fish out something for a project or something, but so far so good. Generally, I like to keep all my yarn contained in plastic or cloth, but I have not been able to do so in this case because of the open storage. So now that all of my yarn is nicely stored away and very much visible so that I can see everything that's going on, I'm really excited and reinvigorated to discover parts. So now that all my yarn is nicely put away and I can see it all now because it's not all squished in the cabinet, overly squeezed in, I'm feeling very reinvigorated and ready to dive in to designing. But not only designing, but also like knitting for fun with these yarns. I had forgotten about some of them, which happens. And now that the season's changing over and we're kind of kicking into high knitting season, I'm really excited about digging into these. And now I'm going to go film my other piece of content that I'm going to film today, which is every piece of sweater that I've ever designed. And I will be moving on to storing all those sweaters into this cabinet. So if you liked the yarn storage video and you like seeing all the yarns that I have that I stored, and you want to see all the sweaters that I have previously designed from similar yarns, please don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications, etc., etc. And if you'd like to help me out, please tell me which yarns that you're most excited about seeing here and what kind of things you would like to see more from me next. And don't forget to give this video a like for engagement. So thank you for watching. I will see you next time.